Senator Cotton, please.
Thank you all. Congratulations on your nominations. Mr. LaPlante, I'd like to say that I am worried about the continued overclassification, you might even say hyperclassification at the Department of Defense. It seems like a majority of new programs get special access program classification, which makes oversight by the committees and our staffs harder. The classified program budget lines in the most recent omnibus bill were over 20% of the procurement budget. And once we get these great capabilities, there's often not a great way to test or train on them. I'm reminded of what Bob Gates, the former director of the CIA, said, that he had security clearances that he didn't know existed for programs he couldn't remember ever being briefed on. If confirmed, can you commit that you'll only use the special access program classification for a truly exquisite capability?
Senator, I appreciate the question, and I'd be happy to follow up with you, but absolutely I commit to reviewing that classification at all levels and whether things are overclassified. Absolutely.
Thank you. I've got to say, I'm on this committee and the Intelligence Committee, and I try to do a good job of staying on top of everything, but sometimes I feel like Bob Gates. Mr. Raven, earlier this year, several members of Congress commissioned a report about the culture of the United States Navy, especially the surface Navy. Have you read the report that we commissioned?
Yes, I have, Senator.
Do you have any thoughts on it?
Senator, I think the study showed that warfighting capability is the #1 mission of the Navy and Marine Corps, and if confirmed, I intend to support that goal of increasing Navy and Marine Corps warfighting capabilities.
Thank you. I think this is mostly a Navy culture and leadership problem, not just today's Navy, but going back 20 years. Congress and this committee has some responsibility, I would say as well. But it's really something that needs to be driven inside the Navy. I mean, the Navy has lost a capital warship on average once a year for the last 5 years. It can explain why this is and why that case happened and how this one's different. But in the end, it's like Bill Parcells said, you are what your record says you are. And I think that the Navy has underinvested in surface warfare training for a couple decades, trying to turn that around. I know the Secretary is trying to turn it around as well. But maybe can I get your commitment to come report back to me after about 100 days or so on what you've seen, if you're confirmed on the job about this issue?
Absolutely, Senator. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, how many criminal cases have you tried in your history as a lawyer?
Military justice and civilian cases combined, it would be over 2,000.
Criminal cases?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. If you're confirmed, do you view your career in the military as an asset in the court's primary role of providing civilian oversight to the military justice system?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I do consider my experience as an asset. One, it'll aid in the understanding of some of the issues and also understanding the processes. And so, as Secretary Johnson noted, experience ties into wisdom, and so I do think that 30 years of experience in uniform will be an added benefit.
Let me ask you this, because this is nothing against you and your great years of experience as well. I do have concerns about the direction the court has taken in recent years. In 2014, the Congress allowed retirees to join the court after a cooling off period. Going back to 1991, it had been required that you couldn't be a retiree. Could serve, but not have been a retiree. And I think the point of that was that this is civilian oversight to the military justice system. And if a lance corporal or a private sees, a retired colonel or flag officer who made their life in the military justice system, they may view them as part of the system. Do you have a concern that if you're confirmed, I believe a majority of the active judges will be retirees from the system, either active or reserves, and whether or not litigants in front of your court are going to perceive that they're going to get a fair shake? Again, this is not about you in particular. You would be one of three, and there have been others in the past as well. It's just a concern I have about the direction of the court.
Senator, I understand your concern, and I think that as a retiree, if confirmed, I'm sitting on the bench, I will be sitting there as a judge, judging the facts before me, applying the law as applicable. but that if a situation arose, as we had last term in the Bagani case, that could cause a conflict, I, like Judge Sparks, would carefully review that, and if I felt that I needed to recuse, I would in fact recuse myself.
Well, thank you for that commitment, and I do think it's important that we be mindful of it, and I think it may be even something the committee needs to review. It's akin to the waivers we gave to Secretary Mattis and Secretary Austin. I think those are ill-advised. I voted for one Secretary Mattis. I regret that. Not anything particular about him. I think civilian oversight, though, of the department is very important, whether it's at the secretary level or at the Court of Appeals. Again, nothing about your distinguished record of service, but I think it's something the committee needs to consider. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cotton.